What up to all you barbecue enthusiasts out there, beginners, average backyard cookers, advanced, and even a big special shout out to all you haters out there who just tuned in to see how you make your brisket better. Welcome. Anyways, hey, so this is a video that I made about a year ago. It's very detailed and it's actually pretty long. So if you want to know exactly what to do and all the tips and tricks, I mean from start to finish, go and watch the entire series. You're gonna have to take some time because it's about, I think, 38 minutes or something like that. But here is the condensed version for you today that I'll kind of walk you through, and you can take your 45-minute or 30-minute video and then condense it all down in here, and I'll give you as much information that I can as we get going. So let's get started. Right, so first thing you want to do is have some type of stick, something that's gonna hold your seasoning. I like to use barbecue sauce because the sweetness in there and the sugar, when you cook it hot and fast, it'll caramelize the top, give you a good, nice, consistent flavor. Also with pepper and seasoning salt, and that's it. Those are my flavors that I have. I don't inject it because I like the way that brisket tastes all by itself with just the smoke. All right, so here comes a part that you need to hear that I took a second, that I don't even want to voice over. I want you to hear it live.
Some of y'all like to take time and trim the meat, and cut off all the barbecue. Cut off all the fat. Cut off all the fat. Let me get in here and cut off all the fat. I'm gonna trim this, trim. Stop it already. The fat is where the flavor is, doggone it. Stop cutting it all off. After it's finished, you don't have to eat it. But stop cutting it off.
All right, there we go. So that's that. I have an offset smoker. Some of you have eggs, you have Weber's or however that go around, but you know, this is what I have, so this is how I'm going to use it. I like the indirect heat. I use Kingsford charcoal for just about everything. They cook, they do well. I don't like to use lighter fluid, especially when I'm smoking meat, because that lighter fluid flavor can get into your meat. Now, I like to cook hot and fast. And so hot and fast, you want your chimney open and you want your vent open at the bottom. Cook at high heat because it gives a good, almost a good sear over top of that brisket, which is going to immediately have you a good crust on the top of that. When you load your brisket into your offset smoker, put the fattest in first, which is called the point. That heat is going to go over top of that. Hickory is a great flavor to use for brisket. Brisket is a big, thick meat, and so you want to get in there. If you've seen any other videos that I have, you see I like to do this, what I call wood chip burrito. You can see exactly how I do it right in here because it just gives a good consistent taste. It gives a good consistent smoke. So, you know, why do I choose that over any other ones? Because I've used a lot of different ways and that one has worked the best for me. So, 7 hours later. All right, you come back. Now all your charcoal is gone. Look at that charcoal. Look at that bark on that brisket. My goodness, it's almost perfect. Now it's not done yet. It's probably only about 155 or so at this point. So we're gonna take it out. Make sure you don't mess up the top of that because you work so hard to get your bark. Now, a lot of people use different types of things to wrap their brisket. I just like to use aluminum foil. It helps kind of steam it a little bit and cooks the juices inside of that. It cooks all the natural juices that are already inside of your brisket. So I wrap the thing up real good, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven. It's already taken all the heat, it's already taken all the smoke that it's going to take. So the way that you get a good brisket and a consistency in your flavor, in your tenderness, is you have to use a thermometer. There's no way around it. Set your temperature, you see, to 300 degrees, put that thing in there, and then let it go. 2 hours later, take that guy out, and now we have an amazing brisket ready to go. Let it rest, all right? Now, 30 minutes after that, I'm gonna show you how to cut it. This is the point. These are the strands right in there. You always wanna cut going against the grain. So if you see, I'll use my fingers to show you the grain is going that way. Always wanna cut against the grain. You can use this picture or look down, cut against the grain, all right? Now, what are we talking about here? Oh, we're talking about, this is now when you wanna trim your fat. Now, take the fat off now. Now take the fat off, but you needed that there to help protect some of your meat also. To help protect some of your meat, and you can eat it later. So I like to cut my brisket in 3 parts. Now everybody cuts their brisket a little bit different. If you check it out, Man, that looks so good. My goodness, I wanna get in there right now. But look at that bark. My goodness, that bark is about as perfect as it comes, and that brisket is about as perfect as it comes. Oh, what I forgot to tell you is take your brisket out at 185. Okay, 185, 190. Leave it alone. Wait 30 minutes. Look at how that brisket looks. Oh, see, I couldn't help it. I was getting ready to set it down. I was getting ready to say, like, nope, let me go ahead and get up in there. I couldn't, sometimes you just can't help it, man. Sometimes you just can't help it. All right, now, you can just watch. I mean, I don't have to show you or tell you how I'm cutting the meat. The best way to do is just kind of watch and see. And when you get your brisket, all of them look the same. All of them look the same. So the way that I'm cutting this brisket is no different than the brisket that you're getting ready to buy or that you have or you're getting ready to smoke or however. But you see that grain and it's going long ways? You see that now? It's going long ways. You want to cut against that. You don't want to have stringy pieces. So we're going to take that. You see it's going long ways. Now cut. There we go. That's showing you exactly what I mean by cut against the grain. Don't go along the grain because it's just, you'll have a bunch of stringy pieces that get caught in your mouth. Now, oh man, it looks so good. I'm just a barbecue enthusiast, guys. Not even outside of being an enthusiast. If I could eat it every day in different parts of it, I'd probably do that. So continue to watch and you can see how I'm cutting it. Right now I'm turning it over because sometimes if you don't have a sharp knife, it won't allow you to get through your crust just well. And you have to push down too hard on your brisket, pushing out some of the juices in there. I have a sharp knife. I was just showing you. So you can see right there, we'll flip it back over because that crust has a good crust on top of it. All right, so get you a sharp knife. And if you don't, and sometimes it gets loose, then we're gonna turn it over and we're gonna cut. Now, again, I'm going against the grain. At this point, you can cut it just about however you want. Really, you can cut your brisket however you want, cut it however you want. I'm just telling you, this is going to be the best way to be able to make it happen for a good tenderness, a good flavor, and you want a great experience in your mouth, you know? So you don't want a bunch of stringy pieces. You don't want a bunch of stringy pieces in your mouth. And so now we are going to cut. So this is, I think that was my lean. Here we go. Now we're going to fast motion. I guess we should say fast motion like that. Now here comes actually some of my favorite part in just a moment is your burn ends. Those burn ends are coming out. They're not here quite yet. But you see that end piece? This is the creme de la creme. If you like the fattier parts, and if you don't like the lean, then fine. But here's how you make your burn ends and how you cut your burn ends. Don't attack the screen, people. Just watch. Not a whole lot I can say here other than just watch, love it, pay attention to it. Now watch when I turn that joint over. Watch when I turn it over. Man, it's coming. Oh man, get some of them juices in there. Don't use a whole bunch of barbecue sauce if you don't need to. If you cook your barbecue right, if you smoke your brisket right, all you need is exactly what I'm showing you in a super fast video. Look at that brisket, not a lot of fat wasted. You pick it up and watch. Bloop. Perfect. And that's because I followed all the things that I've learned how to do after cooking thousands of pounds of brisket. Thousands. Now look at that burn end. Look at that crust on that bad boy. Oh man. Oh. I was gonna set it down, but I decided to eat it. I'm not serving this to nobody but my family, so they'll be good. Can't you taste it? Oh, dropped a piece. And I realized I dropped a piece. Thank you all for tuning in to seeing how the barbecue daddy smokes his brisket. I have been, and always will remain, Terry, the barbecue daddy. Check us out, like, subscribe, all the things that you're supposed to do to be able to catch more videos. I got a bunch of them on here, but I'm going to be doing a lot more instructional videos to show you exactly how to cook steak, barbecue, and whatever kind of food that you need to eat over fire. Been the barbecue daddy and I'm out. Peace.